Connected futures.
Connected futures.
Hi, I'm Stephanie McCann. I'm the editor-in-chief of Cisco's online magazine, Connected Futures. It's our online platform for C-level executives. And joining me today is Todd Spight. He's the Vice President of Information Technology at Smalley Steel Ring Company. So thanks for joining us today, Todd.
Oh, thank you, Steph.
So I want to talk to you today about kind of the future of IT and the role that IT plays in digitization. So where do you see IT going in terms of the future of IT and how it's leading digitization?
Well, technology in general is consuming. We tend to consume whatever we touch and whatever we get into. So back when it all started, at least for me, years ago, we were more seen as just being in the closet as programmers. Now we're out in the open, to the point to where we have to be more business savvy. You need more than just technology skills to be successful in the future going forward. And that also gets into leadership as well, too.
So speaking of IT skills, obviously now that you guys are becoming much more business leaders and really aligning to business strategy, where are you finding this talent? How are you really moving your organization to the next level in terms of talent?
Well, talent is a challenge as it relates to in the economy that we have now as far as STEM, right? Unemployment rate as far as in technology is relatively low. And we are projecting that it will still be low for the next 4 to 5 years. So where do we find talent? It's almost turning into a question of where do we build talent? Now we have to make sure that we look for students coming out that have a really good technical aptitude, of understanding technology.
They have to understand the business too.
They definitely should understand the business.
And are they getting that at school now?
Not as much, but we really need them to be in depth with technology first, because what's going on with a lot of the students that are coming out, you get a lot of the students that are excited about creating, I shouldn't say creating Google, but using applications, creating apps, and this is that and the other, right? But they have to also learn the skill to create things like Google, for example, versus just being a user or a power user. So there's a very big distinguishment as it relates to technology and depth versus being a power user and doing something, spectacular with it. So how do I go about this? I'm very involved still with my university, where I received my master's from the School of Engineering, McCormick at Northwestern, on the alumni board, not alumni board, but also on the industry advisory board, working with making sure that the students understand that they not only need this technical depth, but also the business acumen as well, too.
So you make a good point. You're kind of talking about how kids are in school now really learning how to develop mobile apps. But you need much more than that in IT. You need much more than, it's a great skill to have because you're going to be taking everything into a digital world. But where are they learning the data analytics side? Where are they learning some of the other key IT talent that's needed today to bring you to the next level?
Well, some universities are getting involved in that. For example, Northwestern, we see it in Big Ten. They're pushing programs that deal with data analytics, but also you have database technology as well. We can't get too far away from the foundation, because what is happening at times is the marketing of solutions. And if you don't have the technical depth, you'll get sold into things that are just renamed, right? And we see a lot of that. A lot of money is made on ignorance, from that standpoint. So they still very much need that, and institutions are starting to understand that, and they're starting to bring that into the whole career path.
So what about your own role? How do you see the role of IT leaders evolving moving forward? I mean, you lead IT for your company, for your organization. How do you see your role evolving even further? What other talents do you need to go pick up?
Oh, great question. What has to happen, and what I've worked on, and I believe what all CIOs or heads of IT need to work on is, first, yes, you still need technical depth, but you have to have the business aspect. Financial accounting, managerial accounting, marketing, mergers and acquisitions. What are you doing to keep yourself relevant and understanding business to the point where you can lead it and make dynamic changes and knowing where the gaps are, right? We just can't get into the boardroom and talk technical anymore. A lot of people don't understand that and may not even want to hear that, right? They want to know how it applies to the business. In order to talk that way, you have to understand business. So I've taken time, me personally, to educate myself, even in my master's degree and in the business management institutions that I'm a part of in the area locally, to make sure that I stay up to date in those areas.
So we've been here today talking about digitization. We were having a small gathering of other C-level executives around digitization. Is there anything that we spoke about today that really kind of stuck with you and you're saying, I'm going to have to maybe think about this as I go back home and go back to the office?
Very much so. The challenge that I now see that other people have is culture. How do you dynamically affect the culture in a way that they can consume the aspect of digitization in a way that still works for the business, getting people to change their paradigm in that way. So I'm seeing that other executives like myself are running into very much the same thing, and some of them have some unique terms that they've classified in this, that, and the other. So there's definitely a lot of takeaways on even how to go about positioning yourself to deal with that. And a lot of it comes back to data analytics.
Well, Todd, it's been great talking to you. I mean, you bring up some of the key challenges: culture, talent. It's not just about technology.
No.
So is there any tips that you would have for your peers who are dealing with technology in business today?
A lot of what we need to accomplish as it relates to bringing value to the world, moving the world forward, and however you want to look at it, it's on us. And regardless of the challenges that you run into, there's no pass. You don't get to get an excuse. We have to find a way to make sure that we achieve the value that we want personally in our lives and also bring the value into the organization. And that's not easy, but that's not why we're there. We're not there for easy. So that's the biggest tip that I would say, that don't give up. Continue to find ways, and every way isn't going to work, but that's a part of the process, right? That you're going to hit some roadblocks, but you have to keep trying.
So small win's a big win.
It is.
Excellent. All right. Well, thank you so much for your time today, and thanks for joining us.
Thanks, Sammy.
For more insights, analysis, and the voice of thought leaders, go to connectedfuturesmag.com.